Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence and today I'm going to show you how to make Leicester red bread. It is a bread that is flavoured with Red Leicester cheese. If it's a cheese you haven't heard of yet, I'll explain and describe how amazing that cheese is to you in just a moment. But as you learn how to make this delicious bread, sit back, relax, with a cup of tea in hand and enjoy this episode. Welcome, our dear viewers, to the first of many Brilliantly British creations. Today, I'll be showing you how to make this Leicester red bread, a delicious cheese loaf flavoured with Leicester's famous creamy, nutty cheese. The recipe, I assure you, is easy to follow and rewards you with a bread that can elevate sandwiches or perfectly accompany many, many soups. So, for today's Brilliantly British Leicester red bread, you will need some white bread flour, some wholemeal bread flour, some yeast, the star of this bread, Red Leicester cheese, some full-fat milk, chives, and a pinch of salt. That's it. But before you get started, to take care of your hydration, I'd say switch on your kettle, brew yourself a nice cup of hot tea so you can sip on that whilst you bake. To start off, warm your milk in the microwave or in a small saucepan and then check the temperature to make sure it's no hotter than body temperature. Otherwise, you'll risk killing your yeast. The next thing you want to do is add a pinch of sugar to your milk, followed by your yeast, and then whisk the mixture vigorously until everything has dissolved within the milk. You'll then want to set this to one side to give the yeast some time to bloom and form a nice frothy layer on top, which will indicate to you and me that the yeast is alive and kicking and is ready to be used to make our dough. That's it. Start by seasoning your flours with a pinch of salt, adding grated Red Leicester cheese, followed by finely chopped chives before mixing with your fingertips. Once combined, make a hole in the middle of the dry mixture, then gradually pour in your wet ingredients. Once roughly combined, with the aid of some water, knead the dough in the bowl by folding it over itself for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, turn the dough out onto a floured surface and then roll into a taut ball. When formed, lightly grease a large bowl before greasing your ball of dough, finally covering with a warm, damp cloth. Allow the dough to ferment at room temperature for an hour, after which place the bowl in your fridge to continue to ferment overnight. Welcome back. Before we continue, line your loaf pan with baking paper, ready for the next step. The next step involving turning out your chilled dough, then gently patting it out to be no wider than your loaf pan. The length of the patted out dough should be roughly 30 centimeters. With that done, tightly roll the dough, finishing by pinching the seam at the end before gently laying in your pan. With the dough now in your pan, set it in a draft-free environment like a switched-off oven, followed by a hot water-filled vessel as a source of moisture and warmth. 45 minutes later, I removed my pan from my oven and began preheating my oven. With the oven hot, slide the dough into the oven to bake for 40 minutes. The result being this hot and gorgeously aromatic loaf. Remove the loaf from the pan as well as the baking paper from the loaf, then allow to cool completely, or for 40 minutes at least, on a cooling rack before slicing. With all that being said, I have one more thing to do, namely tasting. All right, I'm gonna toast this, I'm gonna butter this thing, and then I'm gonna have it with a delicious condiment that is coming your way soon, and then I'll tell you how good this is. 3, 2, 1. Oh, this is so good. So good. When hot, like this, and crunchy, the aromas that just come out of this bread, the cheesiness really comes through. And then of course, I have just topped it off with hot, melted butter and chutney plastered on top. I mean, guys, my dear viewers, this stuff is beautiful. It's really, really, really good. And if you have this with the right soup, I kid you not, you will have a blast. With that said, guys, waste no time. Go get yourself the ingredients and make this bread, please. Thank you all so much for allowing me to show you how to make Leicester red bread. Knowing that you like this episode, don't forget to click on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button so you don't miss any of our new releases. Tell everyone you know about the Brilliantly British food on this channel. People need to know about this stuff. And follow us on all of the social media platforms that this channel is on, and I will see you next time. And today I'm going to show you